Hello, everyone. Welcome to Charlie's podcast, the Sport Edition. This edition will be talking about the new Premier League season, the 24-25 version that started over the weekend last week. So, usually, what I do is I wait until the end of the transfer window when the teams are formed fully to be able to give you my predictions, but I just want to do an early run through. So I'm going to start from the Premier League champions of last season, Manchester City. Their team is basically unchanged, except from the massive transfer of their world champion, the Argentine Julian Alvarez, who joined Atletico Madrid of Spain a few days back. So that's the only big transfer that went through for them away from the club. It was rumored Kevin De Bruyne, their premier playmaker, was going to go to Saudi Arabia, but I think he has changed his mind and decided to delay for like a year or two. So the major signing they made was Savio, the Brazilian tricky winger to replace Riyad Mahrez that they lost the previous season and they didn't replace and it affected them a bit. They didn't have a left winger and not another left winger last season. Of course, the likes of Phil Foden and the likes of Bernardo Silva played through that place last season, but they needed an extra winger to stretch their left flank this season. So Mares was replaced with Savio and he took Mares number 26. I still see them winning this season. I think Arsenal have been pushing them. Arsenal has been on their heel now, coming close 2 seasons ago, and even more closer last season. But I have to give the edge to Man City. I think is a coin toss up between Manchester City and Arsenal, but I'll still give it to the champions by default. I'll still give them the championship odds on favorite. That's what I'm going to tag them. So again, it's going to be between them and Mikel Arteta's Arsenal this season. I see Arsenal coming second or first. I won't make my final predictions until the end of the transfer window because I see it seems Gundogan is coming back. That's a very big deal. If Gundogan comes back, then I give Manchester City the edge because he's a big game player. So I see Arsenal still continuing their development with the likes of Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and the likes of Martinelli. You have the likes of Kai Havertz still gelling together. Of course, you have Declan Rice and obviously Thomas Partey in the midfield still learning how to play together and improving. So Urian Timber is back from his long injury layup. Is like a new signing for Arsenal. That's why Arsenal didn't make any major signing except from Cavalieri from the Italian Serie A, the defender who took the number 33. Then you have the likes of Saliba, who is the best defender in the world right now, in my opinion, still anchoring the defense. Arsenal's defense will easily be the best defense. The age-old argument is if Arsene Wenger should have signed an out-and-out striker, the likes of Osimhen, or probably the likes of I think Vlahovic, an out-and-out striker, because Gabriel Jesus and Havertz, I don't really see them as championship level strikers, as in championship winning level strikers. But at least Arsenal don't really lack goals, so I'll leave it at that. My third position, I'm still undecided about that, but it's between Liverpool, Manchester City, Aston Villa, and Chelsea. Those are my top six teams. I don't see Tottenham breaking into the top six this season because of their lackluster defense. Sometimes they play teams out of the park, and you see the result at the end of the day. They either lose or play a high scoring draw like 2-2 or 3. Look at what happened to them in their match at the opening weekend. They faced Leicester City, a team that came from relegation, championship winners that came from relegation. You can see they played them, and before you know it, they dominated the first half, scored a great goal through Pedro Porro, and before you know it, they allowed Vardy to score a free header to equalize in the second half and played draw. That's how I see their season going. I see them coming, looking in from the outside of the top six this season. I see Chelsea finishing in the sixth position. I see Manchester United finishing in the fifth position. I see Liverpool finishing third, and I see Aston Villa finishing fourth again this season. I see a lot of improvement from Aston Villa this season. As usual, they are well coached by Unai Emery, one of the best coaches in the world. Then you have the likes of Liverpool. They lost Jurgen Klopp. Their new coach, his name, I'm missing his name right now. He came from the Portuguese league. He's a great coach. I see him. Of course, they will miss Jurgen Klopp's impact. That's why I don't see them as title contenders this time around. But I see them coming third because of this, just the star quality they have available to them at the forward positions. The likes of evergreen superstar Momo Salah. You still have the likes of raw strikers. You have the likes of wingers like Luis Diaz. You still have Darwin Nunes is still there. He's improving gradually, acclimatizing to the Premier League. Of course, you have Diego Jota, one of my most underrated strikers in world football. So who am I missing? You have their midfield is well run. You have the likes of Slobozai. You have the likes of McAllister, Endo. You have the likes of Gravenbach that are going to acclimatize to the Premier League better this season because they were signed the last previous seasons. So I see them easily coming in top position. I see Manchester United also improving, coming fourth because of their young stars. You have the likes of they signed the young defender from France. His name, I'm missing his name right now. He's one of the best young defenders in the world. And you have midfielders like Kobe Mino, one of the best young midfielders in the world. You have Garnacho, obviously, and you have Oilong, and you have Joshua Ketsi, who scored the winning goal for them at the opening weekend. Those are great youngsters you can blend with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford. I tip Rashford to find his goal scoring form this season. He lost confidence last season. I see him regaining confidence back this season. So that's my top six for now. Teams that are the outside looking in that I tip for greatness. I tip Newcastle seventh or eighth position with Tottenham. Then I like Crystal Palace. They were very good towards the end of last season, and they have attackers galore too, led by Eberechi Eze. So they are a good team. Then West Ham, of course, will be well blended this season. You still have Jared Bowen. You still have Kudus and Co. They are going to be well blended this season too. So I see Brighton also. Don't let me miss Brighton. Brighton will be also a problem for the top teams this season. I see that. If only they can improve their defense. So I see that. So those are my top 10 teams in the Premier League. Let me leave it at that. So at the conclusion of the Premier League transfer window, then I'll come back for my full prediction of the 20 teams, how they will be placed. Then I'll also come back for my award predictions, players that are going to be the breakout players of the season, players that are going to be I won't do the PFA award because look at what they did last season's award. They just gave it yesterday. So I don't understand why that is. I'm not interested in that award anymore. So I'll just give you my top. I'll do a breakdown of my top. I'll start from my top central backs, then I'll start from my top wingers, central backs, full backs, defensive midfielders, central midfielders, attacking midfielders, right wingers, left wingers, and strikers. I'll do the breakdown of the top 10 in each position all across the Premier League. Then I'll branch out into the other leagues by doing my top 10 of the best 10 players in Europe generally. Then I'll also do my best 10 players in Europe by position, by right back, by central back, by left back, by defensive midfield, by central midfield, by attacking midfield, by left wing, right wing, and the strikers. So those are 7 positions, key positions that I'm going to do. So, and the best goalkeepers, don't let me forget the goalkeepers. I'm so sorry about that. So that is that about that for now. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel at DjcharlieSportWorld. Thanks and God bless.